The 16-minute daily exercise class for balance. Hi, my name is Doug. I've been a physical therapist for 30 years, and I specialize in helping people with balance problems learn to walk again. In this video, I'm going to show you 8 exercises that can improve your strength and balance. Okay, now we're going to do tandem standing or heel to toe standing. So to do that, you want to grab the chair and put one foot in front of the other with your heel touching your toe, and then try to let go of the chair. Now the goal is to let go of the chair for 20 seconds with each leg forward. So 20 seconds with the right, 20 seconds with the left. But a lot of people, when they first do this, it's a big struggle. They feel that they're going in one direction or the other. That's okay. Once you have to grab on, switch legs and try it the same thing the other way. With balance, when it's off, you want to repeatedly challenge yourself, even if you're struggling with it, even if you feel like you're failing each time. Over time, that's how you get better. Think of how a child first learns to walk. Nobody just stands up and walks. Everybody, all of us, over and over again, grabbed onto furniture, pulled ourselves up, and probably fell down. That's how you learn to walk. And when you're older, you really can't afford to fall down. So that's why we have a chair here and a chair behind us, because we can't fall down because that could injure ourselves. But we still have to go through that same process. If we lose our balance, we have to challenge it. This is probably the best exercise. If you're struggling to walk, struggling to feel comfortable when you take a step, this is the beginner exercise. If you practice this at home, you can get your balance better and better. Now, if you're struggling a lot, keep your feet apart. You don't have to have your feet heel touching the toe. You could have 3 or 4 inches between your feet, and then but make sure you're letting go. As you get better at it, you can bring your feet closer and closer and closer together until you're doing it like the goal. We just have a couple more to go here. I hope you're resting as much as you want. You can stop at any point with all these exercises. And I think that was our last one. Good job. So now we're going to do a weight shift. So practicing weight shift, you want to grab the back of the chair. You want to put all your weight on one leg, leaning over the leg you're standing on, and then back over the other leg. Now, if you're struggling with this, both hands is fine, or one hand or one finger. The goal is to do this without holding on. And you notice I'm standing for about 2 seconds. That's probably a lot for most people. If you're having trouble, if you feel like you can barely do this, most likely that's because you're not shifting your weight enough. This is probably the #1 exercise to help people practice their weight shift, because it tells you to lean over the leg that you're standing on. That's what you want to do. You want to really swing your body weight one way and then the other. Now my knees are not stiff. I'm not hyperextending my knees. I have a little bend in them, and I think that is important. You should always have a bend in your knees whenever you're walking or doing anything. It's better for your joint, but also it helps you adjust your balance more. So people that are afraid of falling, they tend to stiffen up and they tend to keep their knee hyperextended, and that actually makes it more likely that you fall. So doing this, you want to practice that bent knee, but also practice shifting all your weight over on one side and all your weight over to the other. If you want to stop and rest at any point, you can. This is tiring. Working your hip abductors a little bit too. But you want to try to do it the full 2 minutes, but definitely stop and take a breath or sit down and rest often as you want. We're doing good here. We have a few more to go. Okay. And I think I have one more here. One more and stop. Okay, we're going to practice single leg stands. You're going to grab the back of a chair, put one foot on the ground. You're going to shift all your weight over that foot, lifting the other leg up, leaning to that side, and then try to let go. You can keep your hands over the chair if you're worried, but try to let go and stand as long as you can on one leg. Your goal is 20 seconds of standing before you have to grab on and do the other leg. And you want to do that on both legs, right and left. My knee is a little bit bent to protect my joint and help my balance be a little better. And you know, your feet are going to wiggle a lot when you do it. That's normal. Now, at home, you might be really struggling with this. You might think, let go, and you immediately fall back down. Don't be discouraged. A lot of people tell me, I can't do that, so I tell them what to do and they don't practice. Like, I can't do that exercise, too hard. This exercise isn't meant to be easy. And when I give that to my clients, I'm giving it to them because I want them to practice standing on one leg, because I want them to repeatedly challenge their balance, even if it's just for 2 seconds. But a lot of people at home, they might think, oh, because I can't do it, that this is too hard for me. The reason you're having trouble is you're not shifting your weight over your other leg enough. When you stand on your left leg, you got to shift your body weight over onto the left so that both your hips are centered over your left leg. If you're not doing that, that's why you're falling back down the other way. And if you want to stop and rest at any point, please do. You can stand and rest or sit down and rest. But do try this for the full 2 minutes. And you notice I'm not really doing 20 seconds because I'm trying to demonstrate it, but at home you could definitely do it for longer if you can. I think we just have, this is the last one actually. We'll just stand on this leg. It's such a great exercise to improve your balance. And we're done. Okay, now we're going to do side stepping. So we're going to grab the chair and we're going to step to one side and just take one big step to the right. Our other leg comes in. Then our other leg to the left, and our right leg comes in. I've got a little bend in my knees as I'm doing this. Don't do it with your legs stiff. Now the goal is this. The goal is to do it without touching the chair. This is such a good exercise. It's a strength exercise because it works your hip abductor muscles. But the big thing is it teaches you how to take a protective step. If you're walking or standing and something bumps into you, you're going to need to take a protective step to stop yourself from falling. And someone that never practices walking sideways, and that's a lot of people, they lose that ability to quickly do that. And when you're in an emergency situation, if someone bumps into you and you can't take a protective step, you're going to go over. And that's true if you have if you're just an older person, if you have Parkinson's disease, or if you've had a stroke, it makes it more likely that you're going to struggle with this. So if that describes you, you actually really should practice this exercise. You practice sidestepping and backwards walking because those skills are needed to maintain your balance if anything disturbs it. And all of us experience from time to time things that disturb our balance and potentially can make us fall. So doing this is so important. Now you notice I'm picking my feet up. I'm not sliding them. I want to practice my weight shift partly, but also that's a way of challenging my balance more. So if you're sliding right now, try to pick up your feet. If you're really sliding, grab the chair to do it. Hopefully you've rested at any point with this exercise. You don't have to do it the full 2 minutes. We just have a couple more to do. Every time I'm stepping up, I'm really trying to put my foot down far away from my other foot. And that's the last one. Okay, now we're going to practice turn training. So what I want to do is face in one direction. You can have your hand on the chair if you want this first round. You're going to pick your right leg up and turn it forward, then the other leg forward. Then you're going to do the same thing again, right leg to the side and then the other leg. And you notice my feet are kind of ending up parallel to each other each time. The reason we're practicing this is because so many people fall when they cross their legs. So I have all my clients always practice turning correctly, which means no crossing. And the more you practice it, the more your brain will think this is a good way to turn, especially if you're in trouble. The goal is to do this without holding the chair at all, but you're welcome to touch the chair as much as you need to in the beginning. Just over time, keep trying to let go of the chair as much as possible until you get to be able to do it like this. Also, keep your knees bent. It's not good to do this with your knees stiff. People that are fearful of falling, they stiffen their knees a lot, and that actually makes balancing a lot harder. So I want you to try to keep your knees bent as you're doing it. Now, there's another level to this, and as you get better, you can try this, which is where you do a complete turn, a 180 turn with one step. The less steps you take, the better. So practicing this and getting yourself to be able to do this kind of tells your brain that you don't need to take as many steps. This is normally what I see people do, is these little shuffling steps. That's a great way to fall. This is a good way to prevent falls. So you want to practice it as much as you can. I got a chair there just in case. But turn training is such a good way to help someone walk more steadily. Okay, we just have a few more to go. I'll go back to the quarter turns. And I think this is our last one. Good job. Okay, we're going to do tapping. So you're going to take a towel. I'm just folding it like that in quarters, putting it down in front of me in the chair in front. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift all my weight to one leg and tap this towel in front of me, then shift to the right side and do the same thing. So I'm going back and forth, tap, tap. I'm not putting pressure on the towel. I'm not stepping my body weight on the towel. The reason is I want to make it a balanced, challenging activity. So if you put all your weight there, that's the same as stepping forward. And that's not really as challenging as doing this. To do this, you're standing on one leg, then moving your opposite leg forward, doing something, and keeping your balance as you bring it back. So it's a really good balanced challenge activity, and it also helps you practice standing on one leg, which is sort of like doing a good weight shift. The reason people shuffle, the reason people struggle with their walking is they're not able to stand on one leg. So this is a really good exercise. I usually do this as a warm-up with most of my patients to remind them to weight shift before I do their other exercises, because sometimes people just forget that they can shift their weight. They're so used to shuffling and standing very rigid that they just do it all the time. But even my 100-year-old and 90-year-old patients, I have them do this to remind them that they can do it before we do all of the treadmill activities and any of the other walking things I might have them do. Now, if you need to hold on, you can. One finger, one hand, you could even hold on with both hands while you do it. But over time, try to let go more and more. If you're tired right now, please stop and take a rest. You can stand and rest or sit down and rest. We're just about done with these. I'm just going to do a few more. And I'm just going shifting full weight to one side, full weight to the other. Just two more and stop. Okay, we're going to practice stepping up and down a step. I'm going to put a step right in front of me, right next to the chair in front of me. My step's about 4 inches tall, and I'm going to step up with the right leg and then the left. And then back down the left, down with the right. Now my left leg first, and down. Now the pace you do this at is up to you. You don't have to go as fast as me. You can go faster than me if you want. If you want to make it harder, you can get a taller step. I got this from Amazon. You can get it from a lot of different stores sell steps. I know Walmart sells steps. They're called aerobic steps if you're having trouble finding it. You can also use a piece of wood, a wooden block, or a thick book, whatever you have at home. The higher you make it, the harder it is. Now, the goal is to do this like I am without holding on, but if you're struggling, by all means, hold on. Let me tell you what this does. This improves your balance, especially if you're letting go. It takes a lot of balance to step up and down without holding on. But it also improves your strength. It improves your quad strength, your hamstrings, and your glute strength. So all the big muscles in your legs. And it also improves your endurance. So many people avoid stairs, or they struggle with stairs, or they tell me they have to go sideways on stairs because they're worried about their balance. This is a way to easily practice it at home. The lower your step, the more times you can do it is actually better. If you can't do this with a 4-inch step, then find a 2-inch step and practice with that until it gets easy. And then you can always increase the height of it. But practicing it this way with a chair in front, this allows you to regain your confidence, regain that technique, and how to go forward, up and down. If you need to rest at all, I hope you've taken a rest. I don't know if I mentioned that, but just a few more here to go. And I think that is it. Okay, we're going to practice stepping over something. So I'm going to use a towel, and I'm just going to roll it like this and put it right in the middle of my chair. I'm going to stand on one side with my hand on the chair, and I'm going to practice stepping over with one foot and then the other. Then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to practice the same thing in this direction. Now, You want to alternate your feet. So if I did my right leg last time, I'll do my left leg first. And then when I go back the other way, I could do my right leg first. The goal is to do this without holding this chair. So try to do it like this. But that might be a struggle for a lot of people. So if you're struggling, it's okay in the beginning to practice with holding on with your hand or one finger. But over time, try to let go as much as you can, as much as you feel comfortable. The way to get your balance better is to repeatedly challenge it. So even right now, in 2 minutes, I'm doing this a lot of times. Every one of those times is a balance challenge. And even if I'm struggling the whole time and I'm holding on for dear life, I'm still improving my balance because it's a balance challenge. It's telling my brain, I need to get better at this. I need to shift my weight more. I need to really try to pick my foot up and stand on one leg, because you have to stand on one leg as you bring your other leg forward. So this is such a good balance challenge exercise. And if you're having trouble with your balance, I'm sure you'll agree you avoid stepping over stuff as much as you can because you're afraid. So this is a way to practice this really good skill with a chair so it's safe, and another chair that you could sit down on so it's safe. Now you might notice I'm kind of turning a lot in this little space I'm in. It's partly to be able to film this. But at home, I hope you give yourself enough space. We just have a couple more to do here. I think this is our last one. And I hope you found this video helpful. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this.